There's a saying in our household, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So what does that mean? Well, the more we're present, which essentially means we slow down a lot. We're not rushing to get to the destination. We're enjoying the ride. The more that we can enjoy the process, the more that we allow ourselves to feel and follow that excitement, that's how the universe can manifest things, put the fingers into your life. Welcome back to another episode of the Sovereign Self Show. Again, I'm your host, Loren Cellentani, and this show helps you learn how your body and emotions are not in the way, they're actually leading the way. And today we are talking all about rushing into your riches and how we're actually really addicted to this stress state, addicted to the anxiety, addicted to rushing around, and how that's actually guiding us to that rich version of our lives. Yes, the abundance of money, but also the abundance of time and space and presence that we're all here to divinely be and to live and to experience. So I wanted to do this episode because this has been a theme in my life where waiting to the last moment to get ready, to jump on a call, a lot of the time started because of anxiety, because of not wanting the extra time to be ready and then waiting. And what I began to realize was that I was subconsciously creating my entire life to feel as if I was rushing. I was creating that. I was literally creating that in all aspects. And rushing around really felt like I never had enough time, never enough money, the never enough, the lack of, fill in the blank for whatever not enoughness. And when I consciously start to practice slowing down, it's a challenge. We're going to work through it together. Don't worry. And learning to just experience the richness of life. That's when everything shifts. That's when, I ended up manifesting my highest freelance client. When I first ended up taking the corporate job plunge of working for myself full time, just by taking the time when I felt the fear, when I felt rushed, to consciously go outside and take a walk and take it as slow as I possibly could, as present as I possibly could, experiencing the pleasure of life and the abundance of nature, smelling every flower, stopping at every tree, delighting in the sunshine. And this is not just something we get to practice like a meditation. This is something that your rushing energy is calling you towards. That it's actually the portal, it's actually the gateway into the abundance, into the riches, into the success that you consciously want, that you consciously are like, yeah, I'm ready for it. I'm ready. Come into my life. Take a second and really ask yourself, are you doing more work just to do more work? Because if all that work and rushing and stress that you alone are creating on yourself is not getting the results or the success that you want, that you desire, are you perpetuating the state of rush? And I see in myself and a lot of clients, women, who are sensitive, women who are empaths and also very driven. We have these big dreams. We have these huge hearts. We want to make an impact in the world and also make an income too, right? There's nothing wrong with that. And I think that's the kind of the underlying point in all of this is, what do we believe? Do you believe that you do desire and deserve massive impact and massive income? Is that triggering for you? And be honest with yourself. What comes up when you think that state? And that is your invitation. The rushing is perpetuated to help you avoid what's actually underneath the rushing energy, their anxious energy. So there's a saying in our household that I think my partner may have coined. I'm not sure. We just say it all the time. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So what does that mean? Well, the more we're present, which essentially means we slow down a lot. We're not rushing to get to the destination. We're enjoying the ride. But because you know how the laws of the universe work, you know how law of attraction works, the more that we can enjoy the process, the more that we allow ourselves to feel and follow that excitement, that's how the universe can manifest things, snap of the fingers into your life. Slow and steady wins the race. Yes, that's part of it. But also, attuned to what Bashar talks a lot about, is following your highest excitement every single moment. And yeah, that might be going for that walk and slowing down. And what following your highest excitement actually does is, I think it's actually the opposite of the rushing energy. It allows us to enjoy. It allows us to be present. We allow ourselves to be present. And when we're in that energy, that's when we can synchronize to what we want to manifest. And that's when those things just flow so easily into your life that you've been trying and pushing and just uphill battle, doing literally all of the things. And this can be applied to whatever area of your life. And, focusing on business, I really had to take a look at that myself. Even now, it's like, how can this be easier? How can I, yes, automate, but how can I enjoy this process? How can I shift my energetic state to look at this in a different energy, to be able to see a solution in a way that I wouldn't have otherwise? And this is what any emotion is always, 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 always calling us towards. The tagline of the show has always been, your body and emotions are not in the way, they are leading the way. And this is no different. The rushing energy is calling you towards your rich self. So how do you actually do that? Let's break that down. First of all, it seems pretty obvious here. Give yourself the time, whether it literally is when you're rushing around in the morning or preparing for a Zoom call. That is a habitual thing for me, is last minute jumping on Zoom, whatever call that I get to give myself more time for. But give yourself the time, more time than you think that you need to get to a certain place to get ready in between tasks. Or even give yourself more time to complete a task and you think it's going to take. Because we can open ourselves up when we do that, not to have to push everything that needs to be a certain way in a certain amount of time. We can allow that magic of life to unfold. The unknown, notice how that sounds in your body. The unknown is here to help you. It's that organizing principle of miracles and manifestations in the universe. So when we literally give ourselves more time to do the thing, get ready in our everyday, day-to-day lives, that can start to build that muscle. But from an inner point of view, how do we energetically shift? How do we do the deep healing work, Loren? Well, giving yourself the time and space to feel, honestly, what's coming up. And maybe I'm hitting, this point home a little too much, but it really is giving yourself the space to feel what's coming up. Because whether it's anxiety or you're stuck, addicted to the stress, you need to learn to feel that stress, to feel the rushing, to feel the anxiety, because there's always a deeper layer. There's always a deeper belief system underneath that's trying to be seen, trying to be heard. But when we're literally rushing around, we don't have enough time to get ready to jump on the Zoom call. We still got our sweatpants on. We're already on the top. We're not giving ourselves enough time to actually emotionally process and transmute the energy that's always coming up from us, which is through our emotions. So what I've found is when we take 5, 10, 15 minutes most throughout the day, in the morning, at night, whenever, to learn to feel the emotions, to learn to trust our body is leading the way, that's when we can hear those messages underneath. Through all that pressure of the emotion, there's always a diamond. There's always a part of wisdom. There's a part of ourselves that we get to recover. It's not about letting go of the emotion of rush or letting go of the emotion of anxiety. It's actually about changing that state of energy. The rushing anxiety could be showing you towards your confident and clarity and rich and abundant self. Same energy, just different states of being, like liquid to a solid. But when we have somatic practices or other types of practices that you can learn to trust your body to feel, you'll be surprised about how quick you actually can feel and transmute an emotion. And there's been research done that when we actually are present and feel what's coming up, it's less than a minute. Anything more than that, we're actually perpetuating by our beliefs, by our thoughts, by literally recreating that addiction to that emotional state of being. So the process that I do is really paired with when my body was moving energy, the Kundalini awakening through me, I started realizing there were these 3 steps. There was a process my body would go through. So now when I'm feeling a big emotion, I go through that process of doing the movement, shaking my body, waking that energy present, because what that does is it gets my mind out of the way and it allows the energy, it allows the wisdom, it allows my higher self to speak through me. And it can be done very simply. And what the work that I do to help other women is really to, one, feel better, to shift out of that rushing lack mindset and into your rich self, into your abundant self. But whatever is coming up for you in the moment is here guiding you, but also guiding you to create, guiding you to share that message, share that story, that wisdom with the world, with your audience, because whatever is active in you is also going to be active in your dream clients. And you don't have to be a million steps down the line, accomplished billionaire to share what you're going through. It's not about everything that you've accomplished. It's about who you are being and how you act and react. That proves your greatness. And if you guys want to learn how to actually harness this emotional power to turn your emotions into stories that sell easily within 15 minutes, I have my whole process that you can copy and paste into your life so that not only can you transmute these feelings and feel better, but you're also able to easily, seamlessly create magnetic content that's authentic to you in under 15 minutes. There's a link in the show notes for that course. I just launched it. It's not going to stay this low for long. Right now, it's only $44. People are just loving this course right now because it helps you not only align with yourself, but align with that business and the action step of really shifting from that rushing into your rich self. So thank you guys so much for listening. I think that's going to be it for today. I really feel that's what was coming up for me this morning. Literally did the process, journaled through the questions and the prompts that are in this course, this process. And that's how I created this podcast. Isn't that awesome? I'm a living example of what's coming up and how to actually share that and share it in a way that's authentic And that automatically magnetizes your dream clients into your world so you can actually live that life of impact and income that you are meant to be in. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, whether you're on YouTube or any of the podcast audio streaming platforms. It's been such an honor to share with you guys for over 7 years now on this show. Until next time.